Okay, coyote tips. I'm gonna run through here. I got some other videos I gotta get up, but I gotta iMovie them. This is gonna be one shot, so I can post it. Where I'm at in my coyote hunting journey, these things are sticking out to me the most, and I'm gonna present them to you being a rookie, so it's going to be helpful. It's gonna be more helpful than like some crazy strategies, this, that, the other. Like some stuff I've heard, I'm like, man, that's pretty excessive. So these are pretty basic. You're gonna hear them, but I think that they get glossed over a little quickly, right? Like they're not emphasized enough. So for me right now, they're sticking out huge. Number one is accurate rifle. Like you want the most accurate, crazy Gucci'd out sniper rifle you can afford, right? Like shooting something on a flat range, dialing it in off a bench, you're a magician out there, right? Like you're the man. You're hitting exactly where you want. Now you got to take that into field conditions. You got plus minus pressures, temperatures, and then you got wind, and then you got poor shot angles and poor shot positions, right? Like you can be perfectly set up over here with my bipod, and then the action's over here. Now I gotta make these little movements while the coyote's dipping and all that, doesn't see me, and then I'm all of a sudden at a different height. I'm on my offside, it just doesn't feel right. Coyote starts zipping back that way. It's like next thing you know, use your imagination. There's a million reasons why the shot is not going to be as perfect as you want it to be. So to mitigate my error, I want an accurate rifle. And to throw that down into some math real quick, if you're shooting a one MOA rifle, that's a 1 inch, cone of fire at 100 yards, right? Everyone's like, oh, one MOA, you're good. Well, you're not. All of a sudden, a coyote at 300 yards, that's a viable shot. Like sometimes that's as close as they're gonna want to get for whatever reason. They're skittish, they've been shot at before, like I don't know, I'm not gonna dive into the psychology of coyotes, but sometimes you gotta stretch out and touch on things. And at 300 meters away, now your cone of fire is 3 inches in diameter. I just measured a coyote that I skinned out there, okay? Small-ish, average kind of coyote, right? Nothing huge, but it'd be a good representation of what I'm seeing out here. If a coyote presents itself to you frontal shot, you got 4 inches wide of vitals to hit. If it goes broadside, you got 5 inches tall, 8 inches wide, right? So frontal, you got 5 inches tall, 4 inches wide. Now you can add the head into that, central nervous system in a line, right? It's spinal column, but it's like a really small target, okay? Every time I take the fur off of one, I'm always like, man, that's such a small little guy, Like they look way bigger with their puffy fur. So what that means is like you got to place a 3-inch circle on something that's 4 inches big. So I've got a 1 inch margin of error around my firing cone at 300 yards away, all right? So if I'm off a tickle, that's a missed coyote. Add in all the crap you got to deal with in a shooting position in the field. I want my rifle stupid accurate, because 3 inch at a 4 inch target at 300 meters, not good for me. 300 yards, meters, whatever. I'm gonna interchange those, right? Not good for me, all right? Scope, do your thing, learn your fundamentals, learn like your drops, everything. I'm not gonna go into that, but accurate rifle is not emphasized enough. It's glossed over, okay? So I beat that horse to death, but it's the number one point. It's the number one point. Point number two, I'm gonna go over real quick, kind of ties into like, having a bad shot, so you want an accurate rifle, is the terrain and the wind. Everyone's gonna tell you the wind, everyone's gonna tell you the terrain, right? Like that's pretty much par for the course, coyote hunting. But one thing that really standing out to me with the terrain and the wind is you can be looking at a flat, wide open field, all right? Out here in Saskatchewan, like it's not the Great Plains of the South. Like there's still some forest and stuff around, right? But I'm looking at some pretty wide open stuff. And you can see coyotes in the snow. It's the middle of winter right now. And you can see them running around, whatever, but there's just these little 2 foot swales and little terrain features in this, half mile by half mile section. And all of a sudden, it's going to just pop up 200 meters away to my right, to my offhand, because it's circling downwind to take a little smell and a little visual before it comes closer to my rabbit distress call, for instance. So when you're out there, really pay attention to the terrain. Like, overanalyze everything and come up with the best strategy that you can, okay? Best strategy that you can. That's gonna be my last point we're gonna touch on, but do a coyote in distress after you call. So you see it on all the videos, really. Like, anybody that's doing a good job out there, they'll nail a coyote and hit the pup distress button, hit the coyote distress button. That has worked for me twice now. And then another time I've shot a coyote and its buddy just came back on its own, and I didn't even do any pup distress coyote vocals, nothing like that. So always assume there's going to be more than one coyote. That's going to be another point. Always assume there's more than one out there. All right, just you haven't seen it yet. So or don't, right? Like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, do you play the distress call and you show them your hand, like, bang, gunshot. Now I'm hammering my call and they now associate that with danger? Or do I just shut up, wait for a bit, go get my coyote, go home? Don't know. Yours to discover. You can sneak up on them, right? As clever as they are, you're also an apex predator, all right? And you've got instincts. You don't really know it, but you've got instincts. I crawled up to a coyote that was asleep. I snuck in on snowshoes to a coyote 700 meters away across a field, using terrain to my advantage. And you think you can't do it because we're not practiced in our predator vibes. We're not doing it much, right? So get out there and get predator. Man, like, you're going to learn, you can kind of get away with some stuff here and there, You think it's just a no-fly zone, no go, I'm going to get busted, but there's a margin that you can play with, and you got to stay on the safe side of that. And once you figure out what that line in the sand is, now you're operating kind of on their level, right? So it's really cool. But yeah, that's the thing. You can sneak up on them a little bit. Just pay attention, right? And don't go in there guns blazing. That's kind of it. Another point, their vision, right? They see very well. Like, they see better than deer, for sure. In my experience, for sure, hands down. I can be walking and, 300, 400, let's use 400 meters, right? 400 meters away from a white-tailed deer. And, I've got my camo on, whatever, and I'm walking against a tree line, and that deer, I'll see him looking around, everything, and I'll stop, look, whatever. Like, you cannot pull that off on a coyote. That's a wrap. Like, they're on you, they see you, you're a two-legged person, like, just in camouflage, see you later. Now, with that being said, if you're super still and your camouflage is good, you're not skylined in the back, you can get away with them seeing you because they know something's up, they can't really figure it out. They know that one bush looking thing is a different color, you don't really fit in, whatever's going through their mind. I had a coyote come up 30 yards away from me, right? And I'm like, it was a bad setup because I was hunting all over here. So I'm skylined. I got a coyote in the woods 30 yards away from me, but I'm still as a stone and it's looking at me. And I can't see anything. Like, all I've got are my eyes and I'm squinting. Like, so my camouflage that I'm wearing and all that paid off, being still. Came around, trying to take like a better, safer peek. And then that was his last peek. So trust your camouflage. That's another thing too. Trust your camouflage because they'll be looking right at me, right? I'm using hand calls, so I don't have my call 100 yards away and they're focused on the noise coming from over there. Like, I am the distressed animal. And they can pinpoint that noise so good. It's insane. It's insane, guys. Like, I'll be blowing the rabbit distress call and they'll be like 300 away, however far away, and they just come up, they crest, and they're just looking right at you. I don't care where they're coming from, upwind, downwind. They know exactly where you are with sound, just with sound, okay? So I'll have them looking right at me, and I'm camoed out, in the bush, good backdrop, whatever, and I'm always like, man, this thing busted me. I'm not busted. It's just zeroed in right where it heard that thing, and it's trying to navigate. It's trying to figure it out, right? So, pay attention to your camouflage. Take camouflage serious. Like if I was sitting there in a white tee and jeans, I don't think I'm getting that coyote. But if your outline's broken up good and, you got the face mask on, just that much of your eyes showing like a ninja, right? You want to be a woods ninja out there. Don't get all freaked out and rush the shot. That's another thing. Don't rush. Take your time. The coyotes are going to come in. Like, if you're still, stone still, the coyotes are going to want to come in and investigate. They're also going to want to circle to your downwind, right? So if you got a chance, to kind of set up a little bit more angling downwind because everything's not super great, do that when they're moving, when they're running, trotting around, coming in on you, okay? And make the move real slow, all that. Make sure they don't see you moving, okay? But your camouflage is going to work. Stick to it. Don't rush anything. Take your time out there. You'll kind of know when you need to rush stuff, but rushing stuff doesn't work good. Coyotes are really fast. They run at like 70 kilometers an hour or something. Okay, so last thing. Boom, boom. With all that being said, the last thing is your mindset. It's a big deal. Coyote hunting is not easy. Any type of hunting isn't easy. If you're going to take it serious, you want to do the best job you can. And you can get down on yourself pretty quick. Like, oh man, this isn't working. I'm doing this wrong, doing that wrong. I got to switch it up. And you're always switching between stuff. And it's like, well, think of it like gambling, right? Like roulette, for example. I don't know, there's like 32 or 36 numbers, right? There's black, red, and then there's the 2 zeros, the 2 green zeros. So mathematically, you think, okay, every spin of the ball is a new random event. So, which it is, whether or not they rig it or not, I don't know. But every spin of that ball is a new random event. And it's got, 36, 38, whatever numbers that it's going to land on. I've seen it hit the 2 zeros, the 2 green zeros, like 4 in a row, then hit another number, and then hit 2 more green zeros. And you're like, in the random universe, like if that's what you want to believe, some random Big Bang universe, how does that happen? How does the ball on roulette hit eight times in a row? Like I've seen crazy stuff with the roulette table. It always blows my mind. So if you transfer that, like randomness, it's not always so random. You can be showing up to wicked coyote habitat and they're just not there that day. They're not there that time that you're there. Maybe they were just there and then they rolled 10 kilometers away. Coyote will travel 17 kilometers in a day, whether it's in a straight line or zigzagging. So don't get all upset if you're not calling in coyotes, thinking it's the weather or whatever. Like if you got something that's working, kind of stick to it. You don't always have to show your hand, your full repertoire of calls just to get something in, right? Sometimes they're just not there, and be content with that. I ran into that more than once. It's just like, I did not call anything in for like a week and a half, just nothing, 2 weeks, nothing. And you're like, man, this is weird. Chances are they could have just not been there. All right, boom. That's it. That's the tips. And accurate rifle, biggest deal. I don't know how helpful that really was, but maybe it was. Have a good night.